Howdy folks, this morning we're going to use some soap from Victory Shaving Company. The name of this one is Hot Stuff. Comes in a metal tin screw top lid and 4 ounces packed to the hilt. This one here runs in a limited edition, and you can see, if I remember right, it's 15 to 25. It's got the, matter of fact, I don't know if you can see it or not, but the scent description's right there, and if I'm reading this right, it says Birch and Angelica. And I've already scraped some out, as you can see there, but it's, I mean, all the way to the top, and it's a fairly soft soap. Inside here in the tin, of course, it's kind of firm, but when you go to start to scrape it out, it comes out really easy if you're bowl lathering. And I've got it whipped up here in a distinctive goat bowl. This one here is a walnut one. It's got grooves in it. Got it whipped up with a brush that came from there, from Distinctive Goat, as well as it's got a badger knot. So I've got lots of lather in there, lots of it, plenty. And excuse me, I'm going to follow this shave up with the Crown King Sundown. This one here it's alcohol free. Decided to give that one a try instead of one with alcohol. Got the alum block complete with rubber band. Got a Thayer's Witch Hazel with aloe. And off camera I'll be using this beard balm from PA, Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements. It's a mouthful. And this bottle here is a 2-ounce bottle. And I think it runs $10.95 for 2 ounces. And yeah, with an eyedropper, that's the part I really like about that bottle. And the blade of the day is going to be a Treet Super. This is what mine comes in. And if you've never seen a package quite like this one here is an older one. That goes for the packaging. And don't know that, oh, 2008. And you can kind of see it's perforated right here. So that's the back of your box right there. In case you ever order some of these and it comes like that, so you'll have to, if you're just wanting the box, you'll have to tear it right around there. Excuse me. I'm going to be shaving with the this is, I don't know if you can see it, this is Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements Starling. This is the single edge shaver, and you notice right here it's got a metal plate, and I mean, it's blue, and that's for the I guess you might say the mild side of shaving. And that is the shape, and you kind of see how it's slanted right here. This right here is the portion that I'm going to keep flat up against my face. When I first saw this, I was pretty sure, since he had been mentioning it's a gem style. This one here is a gem micromatic, and this was an open comb. And you can kind of see that the design is very much similar in that it angles here, then flattens out here at the top. And this right here is the portion that you keep flat up against your face. And that's been my thought all along on probably how at least to start with it. You may want to take a more aggressive angle, but if you start with that, in other words, it's a good starting place for you to figure out exactly where you want your angle. I'm going to start with it flat up against my face, and depending on the shave, I probably will just keep it there. It does make it easier for the shave, in my opinion. I think tomorrow, I've had this for a moment. I'm going to give it a shot, see how it works out. And this is Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements Ice Pre-Shave, and it comes in a handy dandy tube. You screw right up. I'm going to give it a try tomorrow. And I wanted to give this soap a try with the single edge, just using the bloom water as my pre-shave, which I've already done, as well as a hot towel to the face. Go ahead and get started here. I have, I don't know, is it 4, maybe 5 Victory Shavings soaps? Might be more than that. I've got a few. Really like their soap. I like all the information they put on it. There's so in other words, and I'll put a link to their website, which they're sold out of hot stuff and Hell's Angels. But they do still have some other soap there. But they give you information on how they arrive at their name for their soap, which is very unique. I like it. And the labeling is, at least so far, I mean, it looks like to me waterproof. I've never tried to soak the tin or anything like that to see how the labels hold up. But I know if you should happen to slap some water over there on it, you don't have anything to worry about. This brush I'm still breaking in. Probably one of these times I just need to start using it for a good week or so. If you haven't seen one of my videos using Victory shaving soap or read it on my blog, this is pretty creamy. It feels smooth on the face. I guess some might say about this this knot, that's badger. I hear some people talk about how scritchy a horsehair knot is. This one here isn't any different from my horsehair as it goes for being scritchy. It's just as scritchy, if not more so. I like my horsehair knots though. I know some of them, they will talk about how how bad they smell when you first use them. I usually lather, most of the time I lather these things up with Williams mug soap. So Williams mug soap has a good tendency to take a lot of whatever the smell is, takes it right on out without having to use anything like vinegar or anything of the sort. There's going to be one day I'm going to try something like that, but right now Williams mug soap does wonders for the scent, I guess you might say, that's off-putting for some people. I've only had one horsehair brush that came that was, how can you say, had a real smell to it. The others was kind of on the light side. You can smell it. You stick it up to your nose, you can smell it. But for me, just using it, I couldn't smell it at all. We'll go ahead and get started here. This is going to be the first pass, and not only the first pass, my first time using it. There's one thing I should say, is that the blade that's in there, it's locked down tight. I mean, there's just a little bit of wiggle when you first just lay it in the blade in there, but once you tighten this up, it's locked down. It's not going anywhere. Now, I have noticed some postings where some have changed the aluminum handle out for a different one, and that's something I'll think about. But right now, I'm going to keep the original handle in there. I guess I am going to try to use it as it was intended. My thoughts are I plan on using this plate all week. I say all week, all the way through Saturday. And then the next week, starting on Monday, I'll start with the gold plate. If you haven't shaved with a single edge before, I would definitely start with the blue plate and wait a good moment for the gold plate, because it will take a moment or two to figure out how to, because most people, I don't believe, are accustomed trying to keep that razor flush against their face. It's going to take me a few shaves to get used to it, and angle, in other words, is getting used to using it at that angle. Could be a challenge. This blade, as it goes for the Treet Supers, worked pretty good for me. I did go ahead and order, right along with the Starling, a pack of these. Going to give them a try also. I'll probably shave through Wednesday with the Super, and then I'll switch up to the to those personas that you just seen, those gems. The price on this particular shaver is right at $40. That's pretty inexpensive shaver. Also, I should say, over here in this mug, I've got some warm water that I keep my shaver warm in. Like I said, that blade is snugged in there pretty tight. I'd have to say, to a degree, whether you like the aluminum or not, but the overall craftsmanship of the razor seems to be pretty solid. I do like how when you put it together, like I said, that blade is just locked down. In other words, if you've had a concern with the gems that I guess you might call them a flip top, if those have been a concern and one of the reasons why you may not have tried it before, you don't have to worry about nothing working loose on this one. Got up a little bit later this morning than what I normally do. Had to get up early this morning to adjust the temperature on the furnace, because it's back down around single digits again, getting kind of cold. The wife was hollering about it. Alright, cross screen. I enjoy using the single edge. They're, to a degree, once you find one that works for you, as well as the blade that works best for you, pretty easy shaving. About like with an injector, a double edge. Once you find your match, pretty smooth shaving. I don't remember, I haven't watched too terribly many videos on this because I wanted to form my own opinion. If anything, I watched them with the sound off. I was looking more for the technique and see how things were working for them, and I'd have to say I don't recall any kind of body language indicating that they were, how you say, not liking the shave. it is a bit of a challenge on some of these angles. Try and keep this flush. This is my first shave with it, so it may take a few times to get all that under control, if you will. Been waiting for this shaver for quite a while. I remember when he first mentioned it. When he first mentioned it, and he had talked about some of his double edge. The DOC, if I remember right, was the one that he was talking about, and how long it took it to get it to come to a reality, if you will, out of the prototype stage and actually get it out there in production where we could buy it, and how long it was taking him to get everything where he would, was satisfied with it. So I kind of figured it might be a year before he released this one here. Like I said, it's probably, as far as I know, so one of the more affordable ones that you can get your hands on. And with that being said, you can watch some of Chris Bailey's videos. And I've always wondered the same thing when I first started shaving, wet shaving, was, some of these shavers, they look really nice. I mean, hey, you got to give them credit. Some of these more expensive shavers, they look just outstanding. But do they shave any better than your inexpensive shaver, for instance? Even at half the price or even less than half the price, does it shave any better? And I have to agree with him in a lot of cases. No. Especially once you learn how to use it. You got to keep that in mind. Try to keep things as quote-unquote as equal as you can. When you do your comparison, you got to get good and used to the razor. Make sure you're using it the way it was intended for it to be used. And or adapt it to your shaving style that works best for you. For instance, not everybody will do a against grain pass, and if they do two across the grains, then if that's what's working for you, then that's what you should be doing. And this handle doesn't even have a tendency to try to work loose on you either, if you're wondering about that. So far, like I say, it stays pretty snug. Might call this a clog proof, huh? Yeah, you can kind of tell. I don't know. Sometimes I wonder if it's how easy it is in videos. I know me shaving, it's one thing, and even when I watch the videos, I do wonder sometimes if you're just starting out doing what I just did, going back over where there's not any visible soap. It's not recommended, but there's plenty of slickness from the soap to be able to do such a thing. But it's working really well. Soap is doing great. Going against the grain, for me with this razor, seems to be kind of natural to do the buffing motion for some reason. It just seems natural. Did try to trim this up a little bit. Not too sure if I'm happy with my trim job. I think I trimmed too much. Kind of thought I might. I think I probably should have let it grow just a little bit longer before I trimmed it up, but I didn't. Like I say, it's a work in progress. I'm still learning. Face it, when you go, gosh, I don't know. What is it, about 3 months before I do a trim on the length? Once every 3 months, you know, you don't get a whole lot of experience trimming up. And for me, it does seem to work better. I don't know if I can do it on a regular basis to keep it at a particular length. If I can figure out what that length is supposed to be, meaning one that I like, I could try doing this on a regular basis and maybe see if that works better. Well, I don't know. Maybe. I have to give that some more thought. Alright. Go ahead and get this alum blocker going and see what it see if it's going to be singing a song for me. It's pretty tame. Right there. And it's odd, kind of the same place right over here on the other cheek. Outside of that, it's pretty quiet. Not complaining by any means. It's kind of nice. If you're wondering, if you like, say if you hadn't seen one of my videos before, it's not uncommon. It seems like no matter what I shave with, I get a little bit red, especially right over here. It's just a natural thing, it seems like. Figures witch hazel with aloe. I got this at Marshall's. We was in there shopping, and that's what I usually do when my wife's in there. I see what kind of treasures I can find. Because in most stores around here, they don't carry Thayers. They don't carry Humphreys. Excuse me. Dickinson is, I think, is about the only one you can find it at Walmart. Otherwise, it's just the generic branded witch hazel, which I did get a bottle of that and got it done underneath my cabinet here. And one of these days, when I get closer to making this one go away, which I know is just going to be a moment, because that's a pretty good sized bottle, 12 fluid ounces, I'm going to right towards the end of this one, I'm going to save a little bit and do a little comparison on, not necessarily on camera, but for me trying to see how it feels, if there's any difference at all. I know it might be a little unfair because this one here's got aloe and the other one doesn't, but to a degree, I have a sneaky suspicion that they might feel the same. Now, if you get scented ones, that's a different animal. Haven't used this one in a while. Matter of fact, there's a good chance. I'm not sure. I know coming up here pretty soon, I've had an inkling to be using the fine platinum and Floyd black. I like that scent, those scents. Smells great. Definitely like the containers. Both of them being in glass. Just, how can you say, gives that feeling of being classy. Dogs must see something they're not liking too much. Okay, so that is my first shave with Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements Starling. And I'm going to go ahead and take this part for you. See, it's that post comes right through there like that. Matter of fact, you might be able to see that, you know, the shininess of the blade there, and the plates just pull apart. Not that you can see a whole lot. And then if you haven't already, I'm sure you may have already seen the wiped out that wetness off. There's your two little posts to help hold things in place. And that right there in that notched out place there. And I'm going to try to do this and not end up hurting myself. Oh, that's what the plate looks like underneath on the top. And there's a little bit of soap on this one here. There it is. Like I said before, it just fits right in there. Those two little posts right there, I said notches, should be posts, shouldn't it? It just fits right in there. Like I said, it's just a tiny little bit of wiggle right there. But once you put the rest of this together, it locks it down snug and tight. And you got to have a certain amount of clearance to get your blade in there without it, how you say, not fitting just right. Because the assumption is that these blades are going to be perfect every time. And if you've ever shaved with these blades, every once in a while you run across one that's not quite right. So it's not perfect every time. So you got to have a little bit of a clearance there, a little bit of tolerance. And like I said, it doesn't affect the shave none whatsoever. Considering this is a $40 razor, and I've got some that's, you know, considering, hey, I paid, what was it, even on a blemish, I think, without the blemish, I think it was like $40 for the head, and people were complaining about how much, you know, tolerance there was, and how it was affecting the placement of the blade. Has no effect on the blade. In other words, it's well designed, in my opinion. I really like the shaver. It went really smooth for me today. Wow, boy, this went really long. I hope everybody's doing well. Stay safe and smooth shaves to you.